Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I'm your host, Catherine Basu, and my guest today is ergonomics expert Darcie Jaremey. Wondering what ergonomics is? If you are, you probably missed part one of our conversation, yesterday's episode 168 of the Fit 15. In that episode, Darcie talked to us about ergonomics in general and how setting up an ergonomically sound workstation can help you prevent things like low back pain and just general discomfort as you go about your workday. So it's an episode not to be missed. She also talked about standing desks and stability balls. Should those be part of your workstation or not? Go back and listen to the episode to find out. I think you'll find her insights very interesting, and they're all based on research, so you'll get some good tips there, some sound advice there. Today, as we continue our conversation, Darcie's going to talk about some things that were sent in, actually some questions that were sent in by listeners. So she's going to talk about gaming chairs, another popular item, and also ergonomic assessments. So what you might want to focus on if you're trying to do that for yourself, trying to fix your workstation yourself, the number one thing to keep in mind. And there's also going to be an opportunity for those of you who want to work with Darcie to do so at a discount. So really excited about that. Without further ado, here we go, continuing our conversation. Another good lead-in, because another question I had was about why do we need to have our feet on the ground? What's the importance of that for our...
Okay. Awesome question. And it's actually quite an unusual question. So kudos to whoever asked this, because feet on the ground is something that doesn't come first to mind when we're talking about ergonomics of a setup. But it's good to know there's certain angles that our joints need to be put in so they are comfortable while we're working. So there's angles for our shoulders, our neck, our elbows, our wrists, our back, our knees, and our ankles too. So optimal knee positions would be between 90 degrees and 120 degrees. So when you don't use a footrest, what tends to happen is people will put their legs below the chair on those prongs to make sure that they're being supported. Because when our feet are supported, it changes where the force of our lower extremities affects. So when we're not using the footrest, our back can hold the weight of our legs instead of it being supported by the ground again. It kind of makes sense, right? It's where's that force going to affect if there's no ground to support it? Well, it's going to have more play on our lower back. And making that simple adjustment of a footrest. If you don't have a footrest, a book, a phone book, anything to that degree will take the strain off the back.
Got it. Well, this is a tip I'm going to give my husband, because he was telling me his knees have been bothering him, but he noticed that he's been putting his feet like back, so resting on the chair, but not at the 90-degree angle, at maybe like a 45-degree angle. Yeah. So that could be a problem. And he flies a lot. So maybe having him have his feet not at that less than 90-degree angle there as well.
Yeah. And you're so right. It's the little things that play such a big effect, especially as we age.
Awesome. So now I have one last question, and then we have to definitely, because there's so much we could talk about, and you obviously you're very passionate and have so much experience. So we'll have to send people your way after this question. But someone wrote in, she's been using a gaming chair. So what are your thoughts on that? Just to describe the gaming chair she uses, it's one with a headrest, footstool, and fully reclined. So she's spent a lot of time working online and switched to one because that's helped her neck and back pain, but wonders what an expert's opinion would be on the gaming chair.
Gaming chairs. Okay. We kind of talked about this earlier, and I had this gut reaction of gaming chairs. Oh my gosh. And my answer is that there's certain things that you need to have for every chair. And I know gaming chairs, they are so trendy right now. I walked into Office Depot. We have those in Canada. I'm sure like Staples or whatever. You walk into these places, they're front and center. I decided to sit in one and I was really underwhelmed with the product. And I think they're a few $100s, maybe upwards to under $1,000, depending on the chair. And I was underwhelmed because it was a hard chair. There wasn't much compression in the seat pan or the backrest and that foam that they have there. There's hardly any lumbar support. And I just thought that for the price, I should be getting a lot more value because you can get a really nice chair for like $500. It doesn't need to be over $1,000. So, yeah, there's so much value there. But I did like certain features of the chair. So your question was about the backrest specifically and about the neck rest. Ergonomically speaking, a neck rest or a headrest, I think the term was. So the headrest is really good to remind yourself to use the backrest of the chair instead of leaning forward. It's not an essential ergonomic tip or anything to that matter, but it is good encouragement for those people that find that they're leaning forward to have that extra piece of reminder. And it can take a lot of the strain off our necks too, if you do have some neck issues. And the thing with whatever chair that you have, your workstation has to mirror how you like to sit. So the question was about reclining in another chair. And that's a really interesting point because technically speaking, you should be reclined in your chair. Sitting at 90 degrees is not the least amount of risk. So there's actually a lot of risk factors with sitting at 90 degrees. So that's sitting straight up for the majority of your day. And what this person is saying, they reclined and they found that there's a lot of value there. And you should be reclining up to about 115 degrees, even up to 120 degrees. Oh, wow. Yeah, it takes a lot of the strain from our discs and their musculature.
Hi friends, it's Catherine, and that sound is your halfway point reminder. If you're joining us and going for an out and back walk and only have 15 minutes, you will want to turn around now. All right, back to Darcy.
And the thing with this though is that you have to make sure that your workstation is fitting you like a glove. So everything that we talked about before with the desk and the monitor has to kind of be changed a little bit in a weird format if you're going to be reclining 115 degrees or even 130 degrees. Everything is kind of is changed a bit. And there's a bit of a trick to this. And I hardly see people that recline more than 115 degrees. So I should say as a disclaimer, if you are reclining in your chair up to 115 degrees, use the points that I suggested earlier. So the keyboard has to be slightly lower than your elbow height. And the monitor has to be pointed upwards, so the bottom of the monitor upward, and the top of the monitor below your neutral eye height. But if you are really, really reclined, then what I have found works is that the monitor, instead of pointed upwards, so there's about a 20-degree angle, the monitor has to be pointed downwards to you.
Sure.
And then if you have a keyboard tray, instead of having like a negative angle in your keyboard tray, you want to have a positive angle in your keyboard tray to make sure that your wrists are straight. If there's any sort of bent wrist postures, then it could be an issue for you. Same ways for the neck. Yeah. So, and one more tip about trying to figure out different types of chairs. There's a certain checklist that you need to have when you're ever looking at a new type of chair. And the biggest thing that you need to know is lumbar support. But on top of that, if you're making a decision between a couple chairs that seem really awesome, that fit all the ergonomic metrics, you need about 18 minutes of sitting in each chair to find a chair that actually is really good for you. And that's just for our bodies to figure out the differences, the subtle differences between the foam and other features that you might not notice immediately. This is a research-founded time point, 18 minutes.
So maybe going to Office Depot or wherever we want to go and bringing our computer and like sitting in the chair and seeing.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. You may look a little strange, but working in your environment, like you do need to have a trial. And I even recommend if you can make a relationship with local chair vendors, maybe going there to work, or maybe they'll lend you a chair for a week or two.
Sure.
Especially if you're going to be purchasing a chair that's more than $1,000, you want to make sure you find a good chair for your body and how you work.
Cool. So the bottom line on the gaming chairs is that they might not actually be bad.'re just going to have to do some of the reverse, like some of the tips, for a regular chair and desk. It's not going to be the same angles because we're reclining. Exactly.
Yeah. That's a good point. But the thing too is you want to make sure that there's enough foam in those chairs too, that you're actually super comfortable. Because for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to be as cushy as, that's a scientific term, a chair that you get from a chair company. But yeah, if it works for your audience, then hey, more power to them, right?
Yeah. And I guess, I'm just learning all these things because I am sitting at my desk right now, but I am leaning forward, which is like what I probably normally do. I'm not in neutral spine, and I'm definitely not leaning back. And I didn't even realize, that that's something to be aware of, that reclining could actually be a good thing. So it's good to, good to know.
It's awesome. Well, if there's going to be different levels, leaning forward is actually, it puts the most strain on your lower back. Sitting 9 degrees is moderate, but the best position is always even slightly reclined. But, changing those postures based on what you're doing in the day and making sure that backrest is adjusted to support what you're doing.
Sure.
Because you should always be on that backrest.
Got it. Awesome. I'm thinking too, okay, with this gaming chair, with the footstool, so my feet would not be on the ground, but that's not a problem because like the rest of the angles of my body would be, or could be adjusted properly, right?
Right. But your feet should be on the ground.
Okay.
No matter what.
Okay.
Even they need some support. And if it's a footrest, that's great. If I know some gaming chairs are almost like a lazy boy. And like the lower part of the chair, like there's even a footrest to support the calves or lower part of the chair. There's some weird stuff that I've seen there. But the rule of thumb, you always need to have that foot support. Your back always has to be on the backrest. That lumbar support, which is the most important part of that chair. So that's the lower back support, and the chair kind of curves outward near the base of the backrest. That has to be positioned in a comfortable position.
Got it.
And that's the number one. If your listeners are concerned about lower back pain, it's to make sure that lumbar support is in the right position for your lower back. So that might mean that you need to raise the chair backrest height a bit, or change the pressure in it, because some backrests have pumps in it. Or maybe it's like rolling up a towel and putting it behind your back. Or if you have the money, getting a new chair. But most important feature is the lower back or lumbar support.
Got it. See, I've learned a lot today for sure. I have some work to do.
This is my passion. So I love to have the opportunity to share.
Yeah. So obviously there's a lot more we could talk about. And like you said too, it's very individualized. So there's some basic guiding principles, but I could have my perfect chair and it's not going to be perfect for, someone else that comes and tries to work at my desk. So Darcey, where can we connect with you and what, how can people try to get more support for really, getting the full benefit from what you have to offer?
Awesome. Well, my website is called ergonomicshelp.com. And I have a lot of resources there. I tried to make this as a really clear way to get a lot of high value research-backed information that people can apply there. I have product reviews. I have best practices. I tell you exactly how to set up your workstation. I know I've passed along a lot of information in this podcast episode, and it may not make a lot of sense, especially if you're not a if you're not an auditory learner. So
Right.
I have some visual infographics there that you can download. You just go to my shop and my store, and that's ergonomicshelp.com. And I also have a 30-minute training session with 10 minutes of coaching with me. So if you're interested in that, we'll put that in. Maybe I can give you the link to that. In the notes. And if you are interested in learning the exact way to master your posture, like how to set up your chair, your monitor, your keyboard, your mouse, to fit you like a glove in under 30 minutes, I have training there to show you exactly how to do it. And there is, I'm going to be offering your audience a 20% off code, and that code is posture. So
got it, posture.
Use that lowercase posture, POSTURE. You can have access to that Master Your Posture training under 30 minutes, and then plus a 10-minute coaching call for me to make sure that everything fits you really well and there's no confusion.
Awesome. Well, that's very generous of you, Darcey. I'm glad. Hope some of the listeners take you up on that offer to really prove what they're doing most of the day, right? Because we talked about this too. I mean, you can go to the gym, but if you're spending all of your time doing anything else that's not putting you in good posture or taking care of your overall health, it doesn't really matter as much, right? So
right, yeah. You're not going to be able to lift the kids out at the end of the day or do your shoulder presses or all those exercises if your body hurts from how you spend the majority of your day.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I keep saying, we said that, I keep saying this, I've definitely learned a lot. I definitely have some work to do in my home office. It's been so great having you. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, and we'll have everything in the show notes for people to go check out and learn more. But it's been a real pleasure having you on the show today, Darcey.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to share this information.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.
Hi friends, it's Catherine, and I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Darcey today and yesterday and are leaving both episodes feeling inspired and empowered to tackle your workspace and have it fit you like a glove so you're preventing back pain and discomfort during the day and able to therefore enjoy your workouts and your life a little bit more. If you're looking for help though, checking your posture when it comes to your fitness routine, I wanted to invite you to do two things. Of course, you can always enjoy a private session with one of our personal trainers over at Fit Armadillo, my fitness company, who is the sponsor of the show. But if you're not so sure about that format, maybe it sounds good to you to enjoy a class over video chat or enjoy a private fitness session over video chat, but you're having trouble visualizing how that would work, I wanted to invite you to try us out for free. This Friday and all Fridays, as long as there is interest, I'm hosting a series called the First Friday Fitness Class Series, where first-timers actually get to try out our online group fitness classes for free. Class is happening, as I said, the next one this first Friday of April. If you're tuning in the day this episode goes live, it's just in another 2 days. And you can sign up for that by going to fitarmadillo.com/classes. That's fitarmadillo.com/classes. Brianna is teaching. She was very popular when she last taught the class format, and she'll be taking on private clients again. So don't miss out. Check her out as a group instructor. See if she would be someone you'd like to work with privately for help toning up from the comfort of your home as we get into those spring months, at least here in the US, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, I hope you will share it, subscribe, and leave a rating and review wherever you listen to podcasts. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. And if you do subscribe, I will chat with you again tomorrow. Bye.